Today we are exploring the basic features of Strava. Hello and welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. My name is Letty. I host this channel as well as the Marathon Running Podcast. I'm here today with my co-host Tech Runs, who helps me a lot with gear reviews and all sorts of other reviews, shoe reviews, etc. You name it. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Letty. Finally part of the team, officially.
Yes, Michael is on our website. And today we're going to tackle Strava. Today is part one of a two-part series. We're going to tackle the free features of Strava. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about everything that is subscription and beyond, just to teach you guys how to use it if you're new to running and if you haven't explored Strava, because we all know if it's not on Strava, the run didn't happen. And that brings us to our first part, where we're going to talk a little bit about what Strava is. Strava is an app that is kind of like social media, right? It's the Facebook for the runners, where you can follow your friends and do kudos instead of likes, but it's so much more than that.
Yes, Strava could be used as a training device. It could be used for tracking your runs. It could be used for comparison between your runs and other people. And it could be a part of your daily routine where you look and what the other people are doing from around the world or in your neck of the woods. Either way.
Yes, and it's very interesting. There's obviously, and we're going to hop into that, various ways of having your profile set private, if that's what you like, hiding where you live on the map. So, if you have a stalker, they're not directly informed where your house is, etc. But we'll get into that. And we'll also get into how to sign up, how to connect your data, how to find your tribe, your people, the people you follow, and your friends. We're going to talk about the free features. And then next week, like we said, we're going to talk about the premium version.
That is correct. Yes. Everybody who is running has some kind of device that they use to track their mileage. It could be Garmin, could be Polar, could be Suunto, could be just your phone. Even if you are starting, you could use Strava without subscription to track your runs and see where your run's taken you. It could be part of a popular route that lots of other people are running too, and they can create so-called segments, and you can compete with them to be a king or the queen of the segment.
Exactly. So many different hidden features. And with that, let's get started. Let's hop into how to sign up for a Strava account. All right, so how to get started on Strava? You go to Strava's website. Strava's website is www.strava.com. You click on sign up. So then there's various methods of signing in. You can sign up using your email address, your Google account, or even your Facebook account. Once you create your account, you follow the on-screen instructions and provide your personal information, and that finishes the registration process. All right, so now that we have an account, Michael is going to guide you on how to connect your wearable of choice, which usually is your Garmin, your Coros, your Suunto, whatever watch you have. Highly likely it connects to Strava, and we're going to hop into how to do that.
So in order to connect my Garmin device, I'll have to click on my picture up in the upper right-hand corner and go to Settings. Then in Settings here, it says Connect with Garmin. So I will click on Connect with Garmin, which will take me to this page. That page is already seeing me as a logged in user, and it's offering me to share activities and courses between Strava and Garmin itself. So now I hit Save, and I have to agree to this data sharing privacy policy. If you don't agree, then you cannot see your activities between Strava and Garmin. So I hit on agree, and my Strava connection is done. So now we are back in my account profile, and I can see that my Garmin is connected, and all my activities will be sharing now into my activity feed. So now it's a pretty good time to talk about how we can find people on Strava to follow. Here with this magnifying glass, I can search for athletes, clubs, or segments. So I would select athletes, and let's put somebody who we all know, John Career. When I hit enter, it finds John as an athlete, and I can directly follow him from here, or I can click on his name and see his activities, his PRs and records and everything that he done. So now I can click on follow button and I'm following him. So anytime he will run and post his run on Strava, which happens automatically with his watch, it will show up in my activity feed right up here. As we can see, it changes based on who you are. And here's John's run in my activity feed.
Showing everything according to the data that we want to see. So if you're living in the United States and you have put in your profile that you are posting your runs in miles, then you'll see everything in miles, even if people decide to run in kilometers. So let's talk about how to add pictures, how to add comments, and how to mark something as a race, meaning that it'll count your entire time instead of just, when you pause the Garmin, normally it doesn't record your activity.
This activity was imported from my Garmin that I wore during a race. If I go into this pencil, it allows me to edit the activity, and you can type in here however you felt. Was it a PR? Was it a good race? Not a good race? By default, this will show up as a locality of where you run. But since it was a run for our furry friends, I can mark this as run for furry friends. And when I hit save, it will change the name and show me all the details. Run for furry friends. Now, of course, as we talked about the social media aspect, here are the pictures that are included with my activity. And when you click on this empty field, it will open up a part of your computer where you can select what picture you want to add to your activity. I marked that activity as a race, which I will show you now how to do that. Here, I'm marking it as a race. If I mark it as a race, it will put a red tag up on the corner showing me that it was a race and allows me to count the entire time without stopping. If you stop for porta potty during the race, it counts towards your time no matter what.
All right, so for everyone concerned about privacies, because obviously we're talking about how Strava is something that allows for you to post all your runs and you see a map, we're worried about not being able to have that privacy, getting stalkers, etc. So obviously there's a feature for that on Strava, and we're going to walk you through how to do your privacy settings so your map doesn't show where you live.
At the beginning, when you upload your run into Strava, you will have the option to show the run like we showed before, either for everyone or only for myself or for your clubs. Also, you can select a part of the address that you want to blur out in your run where the start and the finish in that area will be hidden. For that, we go again back to our settings and privacy controls. Here you can define what you wanted to use, who can see people. So your profile page, your activities, your local legends, all that, everything can be granularly selected, either you or your followers or none. Now here is a map visibility where you can always hide start and finish of your run, regardless where you are, or you can select only addresses where you wanted to hide it, or hide maps completely. So here I want to click on edit. We are selecting the address that we choose and a radius around this address. And when I hit save, any activity that is in this grayed out part either finishes or ends, or it's part of it will not show.
All right, so Michael, what happens if I ran the race with you, but I forgot my Garmin at home?
There are three ways how you can record your activity. You can be running with your watch and then have it, of course, imported automatically. Second way is you forgot your watch, you still have your phone on where Strava is installed, and you can run your Strava from your phone in a real-time mode and record the activity that way and use a GPS that is built in into your phone, and it will work the same way as your Garmin is, except it will not push back to your Garmin. Now, the third option is you can manually create an activity. I click up here on the plus sign and add activity, and all the things that you would do with your watch, you will put in here. Of course, it will not show you your GPS track because there is no way to do it in the manual activity. Another nice feature of Strava is that if somebody ran with you, you can ask them to add yourself into the run right up here. So they go into the activity and somebody who didn't record, and I can add friends to the run. And now you can find somebody like Letty, and I can add Letty to the run, and it will show up in her Strava.
What if you run in a certain area and you want to create a segment? How do you go about doing that?
So I click on here on the three dots and select create a segment. Takes me to the overall activity from the start to finish. And with the slider up on the top, I can follow my route and choose the start of the segment. So let's do it from the founder square, and we'll run to the end of the street. I can zoom in into the map and do finer detail. I will hit next. Uncheck make this segment private because otherwise it will not show up anywhere. And I will put a name of the segment. I will say founder square, and I'll hit create. This will start the creation of the segment. As you can see, your segment has been created. It will take a few minutes to build and create a leaderboard. So we have to come back a little bit later and see in our overview that the segments, there will be multiple segments up here.
All right. So also when you are setting up your profile, there is also an option to put in what types of shoes you are wearing. And that is really good for some people who love keeping track of the shoes that they use and also seeing how many miles they put onto their shoes that are in their shoe rotations. So let's speak about how to do that and how to select the default shoe and how to change it for each activity.
Definitely. Shoes are an important part of our running culture, and you use different shoes for different activities. I have racing shoes, I have a speed shoes, I have a long run shoes, and you can select which shoes you would like to use for that particular activity. First of all, you have to set them up in your Strava, and you will go into the settings and click on My Gear. In My Gear, it's showing me my shoes and my bikes and any other part of sporting equipment that you would like. These are my shoes that I currently have in rotation, and as you can see, I have 32 retired shoes. Usually when I retire them, then I'll just say, okay, these are retired. Now I'm adding new pair of shoes. I can click on add, and here is the default sport that I want to assign to each shoe. So if I click on run and also a walk, that shoe will be marked to be used by default for both activities. Here I pick a brand, and this is an extensive list of brands. The model will be Cielo, And I can put a nickname as a fast shoe. You can add additional notes to your shoes. Well, here, since the Cielo is a racing shoe, I will put 250 miles and click on Add Shoes. And now it's part of the list and as a default for a run. So next time when I go for a run and synchronize it, it will automatically assign this shoe to my run. So now we are back at our race, and my Hoka Cielo was set as a default shoe, but I did not run in my Hoka Cielo. I ran in my Saucony Endorphins. So I select my Saucony Endorphin and hit save, and we are all good to go. And my shoe distance will be tracked automatically by Strava. And if I want to find out how many miles I have on my shoe, I will just simply go back to my gear and look up the distances that are in the miles. If the shoe is nearing its end, I can just highlight the shoe and click on retire, and it will remove that shoe out of my gear and send it over to the retired shoes.
All right, so that concludes our tutorial on our Strava without paid subscription. If you have any comments or any suggestions of other topics that we have not mentioned today, please put them in the comments below so that way we can include them in our second video coming up where we talk about the premium features of Strava.
A little sneak peek will be how to create routes in a unknown area. For instance, you're at the hotel and you don't know where to run, and Strava will help you do that. Since we talked about how Strava is a social media for fellow runners, you can, of course, follow us with the handles that will be posted in the description of this video. And we are welcoming any of new runners to follow us and run with us.
Yes, we are. We love seeing what you guys run. So let us know. And until next time, remember, if it's not on Strava, that run really did not happen.